Yeah, we are back. This is exponentially. I hope you guys remember everything we did on the exponentials. It's just a very very small question. Let's cook. Also, I mean exponential doesn't have a lot, you know. Um, yeah, exponential doesn't have a lot. So they did something interesting here with your function. The way in which the manner in which they named our exponential function. It's quite interesting, eh? But yeah, I'm starting to have hiccups. Yeah, so I just made a yum pause to drink some water. Let's go on. I don't know. Let me see the questions. Okay, let me comment on this thing that I'm saying. The thing is, this h of x, you could also say you have h of x being what? 2 to the power of 2 multiplied by 2 to the power of negative 2 plus 1, which is going to give you 2 to the power of 2 minus x plus 1, right? This is just the same thing. So I mean, I don't know why they did it that way. We'll find out. So let's work with what we have. So yeah, 5 2 1. Determine the coordinates of the y-intercept. So y-intercept, x is equals to 0. So that means you're going to have y equals to what? Y equals to 4 to the power of 2. 4 multiplied by 2 to the power of negative 0, which is, I mean, I'm just going to say 0 here. Come on, guys. Plus 1. That is 4 into 1 plus 1. That is 5. So that means you have 0 and 5. No? That is what? That is the value of your y-intercept. Yeah. And then, they even called it h. So we could even say h. Yeah. H. Therefore, h. Alright, so second question. Explain why h does not have x-intercept. Right. Yeah. So they say explain why x does not have y-intercept. No? And maybe 5 to 1. Remember, h is what? H is h is h of x. It's let me write it as 2 to the power of 2 minus x. I mean, you did see how I got that. Um, 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 okay. I don't know, for some reason I was just stuck and I was like, damn. Yeah, so I don't know, like, yeah, I just had to write this thing, but my mind was just stuck. And but cool, this is the function that we have, and they say explain why your function doesn't have why it doesn't have the x intercept. I mean, you could, if you like. The thing is, when I was discussing the exponential functions, I remember very well. And I did talk about the shapes as well, to say if this is negative or this is between this and this, you're gonna have this and this being whatsoever. So, and the answer is there. The answer is there, right? So I'll give you a moment, just a moment to think about it. Right. So, before you even so there was this thing we spoke about it. I'm gonna note it down here, ne? Now I'm gonna note it down, maybe blue, and say if a is greater than 0, h of x will be above the asymptote. Right, it's going to be above the asymptote. And then if a is smaller than 0, then we have the opposite. It's going to be below the asymptote. Right, so what's the asymptote here? It is the horizontal asymptote, which is positive 1. So if I if I try to plot this graph, I'm going to have something like this. Ne? This is my vertical asymptote. This is x-axis. and this is y-axis. So my graph, whatever it's gonna be above, the x-axis. It's gonna no. Yeah, it's gonna be above the x-axis, but most important, it's gonna be above the asymptote. Right? It will never cross, the x-axis. So this can be your answer to say, since a is greater than 0, h of x will be above the asymptote, and the asymptote being 1, your graph will never cross the x-axis. That's it. You are done. Right? Yeah, they say draw a sketch of h, clearly showing all the asymptotes, intercepts with the x's, intercepts with the x's, and at least one other point. Okay, cool. So this one is not necessarily that complicated. Ne? I could just do it on top of this and say this is y is equals to 1. That is my asymptote. And then the axis, I have same climate. Here we have 0 and 5, right? So your graph is gonna be so the other thing we talk about is your graph going to be increasing or a decreasing function? Because if you don't know that, I mean, there are tricks to find out, but if you don't know that, it's gonna be a bit tricky for you, because like just one person can end up saying, I'm gonna have some like this, and then the other person can be like, no, it's gonna be something like this, right? Because yes, they cross 0 and 5, and yes, they both have what? They both have the asymptote of 1. So but only one person is gonna be correct here. Only one person is gonna be correct. And let's think, what determines the shape, right? So there's this thing, we look at okay, cool. Okay, now it makes sense. Because I was gonna comment about A and B. Remember, we have A and we have B, so if we write it as h is equals to h of x is equals to 4 2 minus, yes, and then plus 1. If you write it this in this way, we know that this is what? This is B, and we know that this is A. So there was this rule that if B is greater than 1 and A is greater than 0, so we have an increasing function. Yeah, so B is greater than 1, A is greater than 0. It's an increasing function. Right, so of which it's the case here. So increasing function, we follow this straight line of an increasing, that means our graph is gonna be something like this. So it's crossing over the you make an arrow, and then one extra point, so let's go, we could say 4 into 2 to the power of shift. No man, I don't want that. It's negative, let me say negative 5 just to see. Negative 5, no, negative 5, and then what do I do? Plus 1, right? Plus 1. So if I say negative 5 and plus 1, it's just here. It's gonna be just here. So this is negative 5 and 9/8. Right, so let's see. You have the most important thing. This thing is 3 marks. There will be a 1 mark, I'm sure, for your asymptotes, and there will also be a mark for your intercept, and at least 1 point. So that is, that's good to go. Yeah, then you're done, right? Then you're done. Let me but I want to say this, so it's very important that it's very important for you to know the properties of everything. It's very, very important, because some questions, like if you forget about the properties that we did discuss, now if you forget about them, you can easily get things wrong, and be confident that you know you were flowing in the exam or in the test and you did no mistake. So I did a mistake deliberately, ne? Just to show you something, guys, just to show you something. So we're gonna go back and fix that mistake, ne? We have drew our graph, ne? But now remember, I drew my graph, ne? And I did a couple of mistakes. I'm just gonna show you those mistakes. If I would be so happy if you did pick them up. The first thing, it was here, ne? So we say if b is greater than 0, no, b greater than 1 and a greater than 0, you have an increasing function. That is correct, absolutely correct. But let's see if we have our a, we are fine with it because it is greater than 0, ne? How about b, ne? Some people can just easily say, yeah, some people can easily say b is equals to 2, but that is not the case, you see, because b is equals to 2 to the power of negative 1, which is what, which is 1 over 2, which is below 1. I don't know, which is below 1. All right, and it makes an interesting case now, you know. It makes an interesting case. Yeah, well, and I was happy to see this example. I was like, yeah, cool. So now that's from this, ne, you would be aware that you're not gonna have an increasing function, rather you're gonna have what, you're gonna have a decreasing function, ne? Your function is gonna be decreasing. But let's say, for example, because when you are drawing your graph, you don't really need to specify. I mean, you won't get any mark to say that since a is greater than 0 and b is greater than whatsoever, you know, we can have an increasing or decreasing function. You're not gonna get a mark for that. But what you're gonna get a mark for is what, is your graph being fine, because you, yes, you have the asymptote. The asymptote is correct. The asymptote is correct. The intercept, y-intercept, is correct, but there's the shape is wrong, ne? So this is where I did another mistake, right? I substituted on my graph, ne? But if you are aware, I substituted 5, ne? I was like x is equals to 5 instead of x being equals to minus 5, right? So this point right here, it's gonna be on the side. I'll just put something here and say this is what, this is 5 and 9 over 8, right? Because our graph, it is 4 into 2 to the power of negative x plus 1. So negative x, if you substitute minus 5 here, then you're gonna have 4 into 2 to the power of minus into minus 5 plus 1, right? Then you will have something like 4 multiplied by 2 to the power of 5, right, plus 1. You're gonna have something like this, right, which will then say that your value will be, it's gonna be somewhere very, very up high, right? It's gonna be somewhere very, very up high. But then if you substitute 5, now if you substitute 5, it's just gonna be 4 into 2 minus, and then you substitute your 5, close bracket, plus 1, which is exactly what we did on the calculator here. I hope you can see it. Yeah, so let us fix that. So be aware, exponential function, it's very easy, but yet because it's very easy, it's also very easy to you know, get it wrong while you're thinking that you got it right. So we're gonna fix that. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. You have that extra point, let's call it a, and you have your asymptotes. I mean, let me say maybe this is a, and then I will say this is b. So this is what the marker will do. You know, you get your 1 mark for maybe even half a mark, I'm not quite sure, and your coordinates as well. Let's just close the brackets, and you have the asymptotes, you know, I'm guessing also. Yeah, then for, I can give you, since maybe I'm sure the asymptote is gonna be half a mark. Yeah, so the shape as well, it has a mark. right? So one of these marks is gonna be half a mark, yeah, one of these marks is gonna be half a mark. So yeah, that is very cool. And let's go for the last question. The last question, it says describe the transformation from h to g if g of x is this. So I guess we can do it right here. We don't need to go anywhere. Delete. Oh damn, undo. Yeah, so let me work. So g, okay, h of x is 4, 2 minus x plus 1. Now g x is 4. This one is quite interesting, fellas. Very, very interesting. All right, this is what you have. You can now take it down and say from here, this is what happened. You had g of x, you have 4 into 2 minus x, and then you have plus 4 times what? Times 2. That means you have g of x being plus 8, right? Yeah, so now remember, originally you had plus 1, right? Now you have a plus 8. What does that say? That says that you did yeah, okay, so that says that you did your graph shifted. So h of x, it shifted, but how many units? It shifted 7 units, yeah, 7 units. So let me make more space. Delete. Yeah, so you could say that g of x is equals to h of x plus 7, right? And that is what this shows, that your graph h of x shifted 7 units up to get to g of x. And by show of calculation, you have minus x plus 1 plus 7. It's exactly plus 8. So yeah, so your graph then shifted 7 units upwards. Then you are done. Then yeah, that's 5.2 for exponential functions. What I can say here is exponential, like I said, is very easy, but yet because it's very easy, you can make mistakes while not realizing you're making mistakes. So make sure you know all the characteristics, like I explained them thoroughly when I was talking about exponential functions. So go through them and make sure you know them by heart, because when you do know them by heart, it's just easy. Sometimes you see a function and you can tell everything, from a drawn picture of a particular function. You can tell everything about it before you even find your equation, your asymptotes, and all that needs to be calculated of that. So yeah, I'm gonna close it here. I'm sure that the next set of questions will be it's gonna be about trigonometric functions. So we're gonna do a few examples, and then yeah, that will be the end of the functions. Then we move to the next chapter. Bye guys, see you.